system. First, I'll go over the male reproductive. Now, this is not only the reproductive structures, there is also the urinary system. So, in case of male, urinary system and the reproductive systems, they are just one system. It is not separate. But in case of the female, it is separate. Okay? So, right here is the male model. This is the urinary bladder. Okay? And what comes out of the urinary bladder is urethra. Okay, so do not get confused between ureter and urethra. Okay, so what is connected to the bladder is the urethra, and that is how the urine is given out. Now, in case of the reproductive structures, I like to explain using this, because that is where we can see how the sperm is formed in the male. Okay, where is the sperm produced?
Testes.
In the testis, which is right here. Okay, and testis is surrounded by what? What is the outside structure?
Scrotum.
That is the scrotum. Okay, so this is the scrotum, and that is this region actually represents testis. Okay, so if I put a label here, that is, I'm asking for testis. Okay, and if I put a label here, that is the scrotum. That's it. Okay, but surrounding the testis is another structure called epididymis. Okay, which is not shown in this model. But why I want to mention is, in the testis, sperms are produced, right? But they are immature, not mature enough to even, fertilize the eggs. They are not mature even to move. Okay, they need to mature, and that maturation actually occurs at the epididymis. All right, the mature sperm from the epididymis now starts to go in this tube that is called the vas deferens. Okay, it is a long tube going from the epididymis, goes on top of surrounding the urinary bladder. So here you cannot see the epididymis, but epididymis will actually go from the testis, from the epididymis, and then it will go all over, like it's a long tube that goes over the urinary bladder, like that. Okay, vas deferens, and that opens as the a projection, like a expanded projection. That is the ampulla. Okay, that is where now the sperm has entered, like they are now mature enough and enough to move. Okay, these mature sperm then further enter into the urethra. Okay, so urethra, you remember, it is in the urinary system, but in case of male, it is connected. Both are connected. The urinary system and the reproductive structures are both connected. So the mature sperm now enters into this urethra that is called prostratic urethra. Why is it called prostratic urethra? Is because this tube is now surrounded by an accessory gland that is called the prostrate gland, which is right here. Okay, because this urethra is covered by the prostrate gland, it is now called prostratic urethra. Okay, now the urethra that comes out of the prostrate gland, this region is called the membranous urethra. Okay, and then it becomes spongy urethra, which is inside the penis. That's the spongy urethra. Now, connected to the membranous urethra, there is this P-shaped gland that is called the bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland. Okay, now these two glands, prostrate gland and the bulbourethral gland, act as accessory glands. They produce secretions that are needed by the sperm. What are those secretions? Prostrate gland produces this fructose-rich secretion, okay, and that provides energy to the sperm, gives them vigor to move faster, okay. And the bulbourethral gland, it produces the secretion that is rich in alkaline fluid, okay. So what happens is, whatever the urine is dispensed out is acidic, and there can be, like, some of the urine gets stuck in the urethra. If the sperm is present in this region, it will die because of that acidity. So that acidity needs to be removed, needs to be washed away from the urethra, and that is done by the secretion of bulbourethral gland. It produces this alkaline fluid that provides alkaline environment and helps the sperm to be active. Okay, not die but remain active. And that's it. This is the pathway of the sperm. Where is the sperm formed?
Testes.
What surrounds the testes?
Epidermis.
Okay, and the epididymis, that's it. The epididymis helps what? In what?
Maturation.
Maturation of the sperm. And now the mature sperm travels in this tube. What is that?
Vas deferens.
Vas deferens. And it enters into this region,
Ampulla.
ampulla. Okay. Now the ampulla, from the ampulla it enters into what region?
Urethra.
Prostatic urethra. Okay, because it is surrounded by prostate gland. What is the secretion from the prostate gland? It is fructose rich. Okay, sugar rich, fructose rich. Provides energy to the sperm, and then it enters into what region is this?
Membranous.
Membranous urethra. And what is connected to the membranous urethra? Cowper's gland or the bulbourethral gland. And what is the secretion?
Alkaline.
Alkaline fluid. Okay, from there now this membranous urethra forms
Spongy urethra.
spongy urethra, and that is how sperm is ejaculated. Okay, and what is the connection of the what is the urinary system? What is here?
Urinary bladder.
Urinary bladder. And what is that?
Urethra.
Urethra. So even the urine is given out in the same direction. Okay, so that's why urinary system in case of male and urinary and the reproductive system in case of the male is just one system. Now in case of female, it is separated. It is two systems. Okay, so right here is the female model. What is this?
Bladder.
Urinary bladder, and that opening from the
Urethra.
Urethra. Okay. For the reproductive structures, I will be just taking out everything. This right here, the yellow region, that's the ovary. How many ovaries do we have?
Two.
Two. Okay. This is one of the ovary, and that is surrounded by this tube called the fallopian tube. Okay. Now between the fallopian tube and the ovaries, you see this again finger-like projection. Those are the fimbriae. Okay, so the egg that is formed in the ovaries is collected. It collects that egg is collected by the fimbriae, and that enters into the fallopian tube. Okay, fallopian tube is connected to the structure. That is the, you know what this is? That's the uterus. Okay, so egg formed gets into the fimbriae, gets into the fallopian tube, and is given into the
Urethra.
uterus. Good. Into the uterus. Now what happens is, if there is an intercourse, the sperm takes 3 to 4 days to travel the vagina and enter into the uterus. Okay, takes 3 to 4 days. Now during that time, if the female is ovulating, ovulation is where the egg is given into the uterus. Okay, if she is ovulating, that sperm can fertilize the egg, and if there is a fertilization occurring, that fertilized egg gets implanted in the uterus. This is where the fertilization occurs. All right. What is the opening of the uterus? Is the cervix right here. Okay, and the cervix opens into the vagina right here. So vagina, cervix, uterus. Uterus is connected to this tube, fallopian tube. What is the finger-like projection? Fimbriae, and that is where ovaries. That is where the egg is formed. Okay. So on the board, I have put down this pathway for the male and female, how the sperm is formed, and what is the pathway of the sperm, and what is the pathway in case of the female from ovaries to vagina. Okay, where the fertilized egg will be planted. And after I'm done with this row, I will go over the urinary system pathway of the urine formation.
Are we going to have to identify that too?
Yes, this is true. There is another model right here. You guys have it. It's the same.
That's how it should be.
And I had a lot of